Hey everyone, Chrissy here, and I've got yet another beautiful spring to share with you. So if you're interested in checking out what Rainbow Springs has to offer, I'm going to go over all of the details starting right now. Rainbow Springs State Park is located about an hour north of Orlando and Tampa, just miles north of Denellen, Florida. This park consists of more than 1,400 acres and has 3 main entrances: the Headsprings, the tubing facilities, and the campground. Rainbow Springs is open every day of the year from 8 a.m. to sunset, and the cost to enter the springs is only $2 for adults, and kids under 6 are free. We visited on a Sunday morning to the Headsprings Entrance, and wow, this spring is absolutely stunning. And you get this beautiful viewpoint the moment that you walk through the gates. There is swimming here at the Headsprings Entrance of Rainbow Springs, and the average depth of this natural swimming area can range anywhere from 10 feet to 18 feet, and the average temperature for the water is 72 degrees all year round. I do want you to know that inflatables, including rafts, tubes, and balls, are not allowed in the spring for safety reasons, but you are allowed to bring life preservers and use noodles. There are no lifeguards on duty, so please make sure to keep an eye out on all of your kids because the spring is 6 feet deep the minute that you step off the dock. If you do want to go tubing down the Rainbow River, you can. It is just not allowed at this Headspring entrance, so you do have to head down to a separate tubing entrance that is located on Southwest 180th Avenue. But I'll plug the entire address if you want it down in the description below. One thing that I do want you to be aware of is that they do close down the tubing season between October to March for the winter months, so keep that in mind. If you still want to venture down the Rainbow River, you can always kayak down, which is what we did from the Headsprings entrance of the park. Canoe and kayak rentals are available throughout the year, and the park offers very affordable kayak rentals for the day. It doesn't look like they have a ton of kayaks available here, and it is first come, first serve, so make sure that you get here as early as possible just to make sure that you can snag one. The cost for the kayak is $16 for a single kayak and $22 for a double kayak per hour. But you can also do an all-day rental for $50 for a single kayak and $60 for a double. And you don't have to make any payments until you get back. If you do have your own kayak, you can launch your own kayak here at the Headsprings entrance, but be prepared to port your vessel 1,800 feet from the parking lot to the launch area. Unfortunately, there's no vehicle access to the river within the park. One of the things that I do love about kayaking at this location is that you get this beautiful crystal clear water where you can see everything all the way down to the bottom of the river. The river itself is more developed where you have houses all down one side of the river, but you do get this beautiful nature scenery on the other side, and you do come across a number of different wildlife like turtles, birds, and we even got to get pretty close to this adorable otter who was out for his morning swim. We didn't see any gators while we were out on the river, but they do have them here, so make sure to keep a close eye out on your surroundings, but as long as you stay far away from them, you should be absolutely fine. I do want you to know that this river is pretty popular not only for kayakers, but for boaters, tubers, and even scuba divers. We came across a lot more people than we normally do for an early morning kayak, and also had to make our way around a number of shuttle boats, tubers, scuba divers, and even jet skis. The river is a straight shot, so as far as you kayak down, just remember that you will have to kayak all the way back to the Headspring. So remember how many hours it took you to kayak down, because most likely it's probably going to take you twice as long to kayak back to the top against the current. Once you get back from kayaking, there is plenty of space in the park to have a barbecue or even spread out a blanket for a picnic. If you do want to dry off a bit more by walking around, you can take a hike on the miles of hiking trails that are available in the park. One of the things that Rainbow Springs is known for are these beautiful waterfalls on the hikes. The gardens and waterfalls at Rainbow Springs State Park is a cultural asset that remained from the days when Rainbow Springs was a private attraction. These waterfalls have been renovated and are replanted while preserving their historical significance. And if you visit during the springtime, the entire Headsprings area is bursting with pink, purple, and white flowers from its famous azalea blooms. Here at the Headsprings Entrance, there are 2.5 miles of trails, and while you're walking through them, you won't miss the remnants of the old zoo and amusement park that were once here. In the 1930s, Rainbow Springs was a privately owned theme park. And unlike most freshwater spring tourist attractions around Florida that offered the glass bottom boat tour, Rainbow Springs offered something that was completely unique by using these sub-boats that had stairs that allowed people to go below the waterline and to be able to look out at eye level under the water. They also had this monorail that had leaf-shaped gondolas that went around the park. Today, these walkways are nicely shaded and are a beautiful way to be able to spend the afternoon. If you want to see another beautiful spring in the area, then you'll have to check out my video on Silver Springs that just popped up on the screen. Until next time, everyone, I hope you have an amazing day and go out and enjoy some Florida sunshine.